Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Walther's Wanderings Travel Podcast. This is episode 19, I think. We just keep cramming them down on the YouTube channel. I'm going to be introducing the guests today. As you notice, I'm in my daughter's room because we have snowflakes, because she's a big Frozen fan. And so our guest has a lot to do with things being frozen, well, at least in the wintertime. Obviously, in the summertime, not so much, but we'll talk about all of that in just a second. But before we get to our guest, let's work on telling you about my special of the day, and that's train travel. If you want to travel by train, there's lots of great opportunities out there coming up in 2021. And if you book a train trip with Amtrak Vacations or Rail Bookers, which basically covers the whole world of trains, you'll be able to get $100 off your trip, and it's going to be a great time for you and whoever you want to bring along to see the great sights both here in the United States and around the world. So that's my special. You have to book by the 31st of March, and you have to travel by the 21st of December. Pretty easy stuff. Again, the world's going to open up soon enough, and when it does, you'll be able to go ahead and take advantage of it. All right, so now we bring in our guest for the day. Her name is Radetti. She is live from us from the northern parts of Italy, and she's going to talk about the beauty that is the parts of Italy that are actually even further north than Milan and Venice and places like that. So hello, and how are you today?
Good. Well, actually, I wanted to turn my camera around to show you this, but then the light was too much against it. But let me see if I can show you.
Oh my goodness gracious, look at all that beautiful snow. That is just incredible.
Whoa, yeah, no, it is outstanding. And we've had so much snow this year. It is incredible. Well, first of all, I must say, I love your snowflake in the background. We're really matching.
We're all on the same page here today. It's pretty hilarious.
Absolutely. I am right in the heart of the Dolomites. So as you said, Italy's northernmost region, which is South Tyrol, and which has the biggest part or a big part of the Dolomites, and which are quite unique mountains in many senses. I mean, from the point of view of sceneries and panoramas, they are really unique in worldwide. They are UNESCO since 2009. And then they offer so many gorgeous things all year round. Of course, they are, first of all, nature lovers destination. Of course, in summer you have hiking, biking, climbing, water sports, whatever your heart desires in that sense. And in winter, this is actually the biggest ski area in the world, with 1,200 kilometer slopes. So you basically have 12 different ski areas, all connected with one single ski pass. And so, you can imagine, you can really ski for days, never repeating your same slopes. And of course, there is one more big plus point. We are Italy after all, so we love good food, we love good wine. So wherever you go, you gotta eat well, that's for sure. You can have from oysters to very, very traditional stuff in many huts in your ski boots during your ski trip. It's quite fantastic.
So now, all right, I'm not a skier, okay? My kids are, okay? They actually they learned to ski not too long ago. They're pretty adept. They're not snowboarders. They're traditional regular snow skiers. Although I think my son wants to do the snowboard thing. So that's fine. Now, I guess the first question is, for those of us who are not skiers, and if you're there in the wintertime, say winter 2021-22, right, which will probably be the next great shot, what is there for the non-skiers like me to do while the rest of them are on the slopes?
Well, the cool thing is actually it is very easy to combine skiers and non-skiers. Since you have a lot of other activities that you can combine, and somehow what we love to do, as I'm a ski instructor as well, so I love to follow my guests around. And what we do if we have families who have some skiers and some not, you can always meet somewhere for lunch or for an activity together. So of course there are an amazing snowshoeing tours around. If you're not alpine skier, you might want to try Nordic skiing. and activities like that. And I must say, it has been a challenge this year because lifts are supposed to open on January 18th now, but of course now it's almost 2 months of season that has passed. So we had quite some ideas for non-skiing activities. And so, for example, now here in Alta Badia, for example, you have husky sledges. So you can have a husky sledge tour. You will feel like in Finland.
I like that.
We have so much snow now. Yeah, it's gorgeous. And we can combine that with then a private lunch, for example, in a little hut or something like that. We even have we built a sledge on our own, a complete sledge out of wood.
I saw that. I saw that. That's beautiful.
That was actually one of the ideas to have more experiences in for non-skiers, because you have a picnic or aperitif box on it, and you can go right in the middle of the snow, or with your snowshoes or whatever, and then have your picnics like really surrounded in the snow. That's pretty cool.
Well, I've done the snow ski. I've done the snowshoeing. I've done the Nordic skiing. So I may be still able to handle that. I've done ice fishing.
Why are you not skiing then?
Because my knees just say no.
I remember you said
in June, and I'm still not necessarily have the confidence to get on the regular skis yet. And trust me, a snowboard completely intimidates me. So that I don't think will ever happen. So now, what about the non-ski season? We talk about May through October, I guess, is basically when the snow isn't falling. What kind of things would we expect if we went to the northern fringes of Italy there?
So the mountain areas are the best time is June, July. August gets a little bit busier, but it's still fantastic, and September till mid of October. May, June, from April to June, I would say the whole areas that are just like at the bottom of the mountains of the Dolomites are fantastic. So imagine that Bolzano is the capital town of the region, South Tyrol, and from there you have an area which is called the Wine Street, because you got so many wineries and vineyards and lakes and castles and mountains around that offer great opportunities for any kind of activity, which means you can have e-bike tours through the vineyards and then have a wine tasting right in the middle of the vineyards, for example. And this is just about, to give you an idea, about an hour driving from Verona north. So it's perfect to combine, all the northern regions. So you have Veneto, you go all the way up, Lake Garda, South Tyrol, Dolomites. It's perfect to make a tour like that. Then you have, for example, South Tyrol has about 800 castles. So if you're into that, you have quite some opportunities to learn about. I mean, the history here is incredible in that sense.
Are there any of those castles haunted?
They most certainly are. They wouldn't tell you though.
Oh, they won't tell you? I just had to check, because I think there are some people who do like, the allure of the haunted castle, because
I do.
For whatever reason. I'm not saying that's me, but for whatever reason they do,
And instead, if you're a spa lover, South Tyrol has the highest number of spa hotels in the whole Alps.
Wow.
So, from hay baths or treatments with, all local products, from the pine trees, the honey, the hay, again, the flowers. There is really, they will be very satisfied as well.
Now, the other thing that really interests me about going to a place like Italy is obviously the food. I mean, the wine speaks for itself and may end up speaking for you later, but the food, the food is outrageous. Has wine spoken for you before? Is that why you're laughing?
I don't know what you mean.
You don't know about that? Okay, I'm just checking. Anyways, what about some of the culinary things that separate that part of Italy from maybe even Rome, or certainly when you go further down, to places, further south in the southern part of Italy? Well, what makes the food so special in that area?
Well, first of all, I must say, food is special in every area, which seems basic, but it is not. It really is like if you drive half an hour in Italy, you end up in a different valley or a different town or whatever, and you will have different traditional culinary highlights. That is extreme. here, especially in the Dolomites area and South Tyrol in particular, it is even stronger. Now you have to imagine South Tyrol was part of the Austrian-Hungarian Empire since until 1939. So you have a mix of cultures, which is incredible. So you have this Italian culture influence, Mediterranean, and then of course you have the Tyrolean, Austrian, German as well. So we would usually put it this way. We have the German, efficiency and we're thinking, whatever. That's why everything really works so smooth. And the Italian love for food and wine and flair and whatever. And it would be worse vice versa. But luckily it works very well like this.
I understand. I get it. I actually get it.
So you
now,
actually...
Are there cooking? Are there places you can actually do like a cooking thing, like learning how to cook some of these meals and be able to take it home with you? It's one thing to eat it, at a restaurant or at another place, but it's like an entirely more authentic and wonderful experience to actually be in there with your apron on and chopping the onions and whatever else and actually making some food.
That's right. And especially because, as I said, there are some dishes that you only find here. There are some sort of dumplings and some sort of, let's say kind of tortellini, tortelloni to give you an idea, which only exists here. So that is definitely interesting. And for example, one thing that is very nice is if you like, go to a farm and you will learn how to make your own cheese that then you will, use in your cooking lesson. And prepare your whole meal up in a little hut up a little farmhouse up in the mountain. It's gorgeous.
Because I think it's really good, especially for families, to be able to cook together and do that kind of thing together. Now, the one other thing that I have a great interest in, and I do it a lot, is golf. Are there golf courses in that region that we should know about?
Actually, yes. It is not a golf destination, but it has some very challenging golf courses. Some are as high as 2,000 meters almost. And so you can imagine you're right in the Dolomites with these peaks surrounding you, and it all goes pretty up and down. So it's not a easy cheesy. Golf course.
I have played those courses, and I think I had a goat carry my bag, so I understand how that works. So now your background is you're a ski instructor. Maybe you could help me. I don't know. It might be beyond help, but and you run this tour. Tell us about the company that you're in charge of, and what basically you offer as far as services and such for the tourist traveler.
So as you said, my background actually, I worked before in the marketing as a marketing manager. I'm originally from here, from Bolzano, and about 5 years ago, I started a business because the original idea has always been to provide really, really unique experiences and to really show the place. You know how it is, you go somewhere, after a week you learn, okay, this is the place I was supposed to go for the best sundown and here for the best Aperol Spritz and whatever. So that was the original idea and still is. And we are now, the first luxury agency, but luxury, it means like extremely tailor-made and very, very exclusive. So whatever we do, we try to do it to find new things to offer, different ways where everything we do can be done privately, exclusively, whatever it is. And the thing is, the biggest value, I think, is no tour is second to another. The idea is, to understand what everyone is looking for and find the best way. As we had just a little time, but you can see already just South Tyrol has so many varieties and offers so many things. You can't see them all. You won't see them all. Try to find the most ideal ones to make the vacation perfect.
Now, about combining with the rest of northern Italy, is it easier or difficult to combine what you do with maybe what someone else does when it comes to Venice and Florence and Rome and places of that sort? Is that an easy kind of transition or what?
You mean combining these areas?
Right. Where you are with the more cosmopolitan metropolitan cities.
Absolutely. Well, the most important hub here is Venice, which is about 2.5 hours away from where I am standing now. So that makes a perfect sense. You from Venice, you make a little bit the Veneto area, you go up Dolomites, you down Southwell, you end up Lake Garda, and which is again 2 hours from Tuscany, 2.5 hours from Tuscany. So it can very, very easily be combined, but it is very interesting, especially for clients who have already been to Italy a couple of times, have done, the classics,
Right.
and are looking for something new, because there you see a really different kind of Italy, but you still have, that Italian flair
No,
you're
I know.
looking for if you
Right.
go to Italy.
I understand that. Now, do you have people from other places in the United States come to you, and what other type of people come to that area?
So actually, yeah, USR is the biggest market for us. And I must say, Americans have learned to love in the last years more and more the Dolomites, especially in summer. I would say the majority are are food and wine lovers, outdoors and nature lovers, and and culture. I mean, interesting in really seeing, deeper parts and different parts of Italy as well.
So it becomes a very authentic experience, which I really like authenticity in my travel. When you go to these major cities, if you go to Rome, you'll go to the Colosseum, you go to the Parthenon, and it's like, well, everyone goes there, but to try and find that more authentic, hole in the wall kind of thing, it's much more difficult. But obviously, when you go to a place that's a little bit more unspoiled and a little bit more rustic, perhaps, but still, there's 800 castles, so it's not like there wasn't an influence of nobility, in the past. It certainly can lend itself to, actually being able to mix Venice and the Dolomites, and then maybe go down to Florence and Assisi and Rome. That actually might be quite a nice little arc to take in that part of Italy. There's no doubt about it.
Mm-hmm.
I think you agree. Well, I tell you what, I think we've covered most everything. If there's a website address or something you want to tell us as far as where we should find you on the interwebs, spill it. Let us know.
Okay. Yeah. Well, the website is dream-beyond.com. Quite easy. And we're very active on Instagram as well. There you can see the slides and many of the experiences we offer.
I think that's where I found you. I think I found you.
I can see the last picture about feeding deers had quite success. That was quite an experience as well.
And that was some big snow. I mean, how much snow has there been this year there? I mean, it's got
so much
meters, not just inches or feet. We had one snow with about a foot here, and that's been it, and it's gone since. But I mean, you have feet upon feet upon feet. You might need snowshoes just to go get your mail.
It kept coming. That's the thing. I mean, usually December can be a little bit tricky, different from year to year. Sometimes it snows earlier, sometimes not. But this year has been stunning. And the thing is, in between the snowy days, just wonderful blue sky and quite cold temperatures right now. But yeah, no, I tell you, I'm driving crazy because I'm a big lover of powder skiing and stuff, and not being able, to having lifts to go up and down. It's quite tough. But yeah, it will open sooner.
Well, I really appreciate you coming on board today. And I thank you so much. You've given great amounts of information to a very unusual part of Italy, because it's a little bit less known, maybe should be better known by lots of people. It's not just the World Cup skiing that goes on in that area. There's a lot more to offer, and I really appreciate you coming on board. Thank you so much, and take care and stay well.
You too, absolutely.
That was Leah Radetti from Italy. It's a really awesome job. And so I just want to remind you that we will be back with more episodes. I'm talking with Luca Orlandi, who's going to talk about the other parts of Northern Italy. That'll be in another episode. We got a whole lot more. So thank you for watching. And again, remember, touch to go away.